Hi, and welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me in the Treehouse today. Today's project is a 3D project. It's a really cute triangular box that we're going to make together. It has a Velcro closure, and you can put two Hershey miniatures. They can stack on top of each other. You can get one Hershey nugget. It's a little bit tight to get two, but that is the Sweet Treat box. It's utilizing some retired products, but you might have those already in your stash, and if not, you can change it up and use different things. This is just an idea to give you. All right, so let's see what we can do to put this box together. You begin with a piece of cardstock, and this particular one I believe is fresh freesia that I used. I was just trying to match the DSP color, but you can use whatever you have. And let's see, the size is, the long side is 6.5 and the short side is 3 1/4. 6.5 and 3 1/4. These dimensions will be on my blog, so you don't have to worry about writing them down right now, but they're not too complicated. And after you've gotten that cut, and you can actually get 3 out of a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, so go ahead and make 3. Why not? All at the same time. And then you're going to need your Simply Score. I have already scored mine, but let me show you. Makes it easier sometimes to have somebody showing you how to do it. All right, so with your Simply Score, and I use the smaller end, the stylus has 2 ends, kind of a small one and a little bit larger, and we are going to score it at, the first score mark is at 1 3/4, so 1 3/4, and then at 3, and then at 4 3/4 and 6. Okay, 1 3/4, 3, 4 3/4, and 6. Then while we still have it on the long side, we're going to make some little divots, little marks. One is at 2 3/8, and you're just going to take your stylus and kind of push down on the paper a little bit to make a mark, like a tick mark. And then 5 3/8, and the same thing, make a little tick mark. So 2 3/8 and 5 3/8 are your tick marks. Now take your paper and turn it clockwise, just a 1/4 of a turn, and we're going to mark it or score it at 1 1/4. So all the way down at 1 1/4. And that's all you have to do. You can take and put the scoreboard away, but you might need, or it would be a good idea, to keep your stylus. And then you'll need I don't know where my short one is, but I've got my long straight edge here, and I'm going to put a Stampin' Pierce mat underneath it. We lovingly call these at our workshop, we call them squishies. So take your stylus again, and where that little divot was, where you made that mark, you're going to make a line from here to this intersection down here, and we're going to kind of form a triangle. So do that. And then what I do is, when I do mine, I place it in the spot, and I kind of pivot my ruler and just double check that that's works for both. And then we're going to move to the other little rectangle where we made a tick mark and do the same thing from the corner to the tick mark, and one more, the corner to the tick mark. Now we've got it all done, and you can put your stylus back into the scoreboard, and we can use our bone folder, and we can burnish all of the edges, the lines, the score lines that we've just done. We will not do with the bone folder, we will not do the triangular ones right now. We'll do those with our fingers later. Okay, got all of those, and then this one that was done at the 1 3/4. All right, now we get our paper snips, and my paper snips are pretty dirty right now. And we're going to snip off this bottom little short rectangle. And we're just going to go right down the score lines and cut him completely off. And then while we've got this, we're going to miter these little edges so that we have tabs on this little skinny guy. So, and then we're going to cut up each of these verticals right up to the horizontal line. And this is the strip that is not where the triangles are, right below the triangles. Okay. And we're going up each one of those. And once we've gotten all 4 of those, we're going to bring in our paper trimmer. Okay, and we're going to take it and lay it with the tabs facing the cutting part, and we're going to put the other end at 2 7/8. So 2 7/8. Now we're going to pull back the big ones and leave the short ones. So every other one, short, big, short, big. The big ones go back out of the way, and the short ones, whoops, I just moved it. We are going to snip them off. Let's make sure I've got it lined back up at 2 7/8. Okay, and I'm ready to just cut those little pieces off, and just that little bit is going to make a big difference. Okay, we'll move that out of the way. Bring our paper snips back, and we are going to do miters on these little short guys. The ones that we just trimmed off. We're going to miter the edges so that they make great tabs, and it helps to keep the larger ones out of the way. And one more. All right, so now it's pretty much ready to put together. I'm just gonna hand do it. I'm gonna hand kind of bend just a little bit those triangles that we made. All right, now we're going to flip it over with the short side right here, and we're going to go 1, 2. On the second line, we're going to fold that over. So the short piece is right here, and we're going to take our liquid glue, and we're going to put liquid glue right here on the short piece. Okay, and we're going to take this line right here, that first tab, and we're going to flip it over on top of where we just glued. And that will be the body of our box. Okay. Now lift it up. I feel like Alright, so that is where that seam is the back of our box. Okay, and now we're going to put the bottom together. We've got these 2 side pieces and a front and a back. Make sure I know which one's the back. This is the back right here. So I'm going to put glue on the side pieces and glue on the front piece. Okay, and I'm going to hold in the side pieces, put the back, the bottom, back part, and the front part flap. Okay, then turn it over, use the glue bottle to kind of push in there and make sure that's great. All right, now we can take with our fingers the triangle pieces, and we're going to hold the box and use our index fingers and kind of just bend it in like that. All right, so that is the bottom of our box. I don't think I lined that one up very well, but anyway, but you get the idea. And then we can put in our pieces of DSP. Let me find my DSP, and we'll add that to our box. Our DSP, if I didn't mention before, our DSP is cut at 1 5/8 and 1 7/8, and that the direction, just be sure that you've got, if you have directional paper like I do, that your shorter side is the top and bottom. All right, we'll add some liquid glue to that, and we'll stick that onto the one on the front panel, one on the back panel. You can kind of squeeze with the fingers to get it adhered well. Okay. And almost there. All right, so that's the back. Okay, we have to kind of remember that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our, let's see if I can find it, our everyday punch, everyday label punch. Here it is, and it is retired, but you may have something similar. And we're going to punch out some of the matching Fresh Freesia cardstock. And I'm going to bring my trimmer back just for a second because this is a good way to score in the center to use it. And you can kind of line up and see where the center is because you have matching parts right there. So let's see. And it doesn't have to be exact, but that's pretty close. We're going to make a score mark in it. And we're going to fold that down. And we're going to put on the back side, one side, the one that's going to go on the back, we're going to use tear and tape. Because this guy moves, and so you want the base of it to be strong because they're going to be opening and closing the front flap. So I'm just putting a couple pieces of tear and tape down. I like to use tear and tape because it's strong. It is a great adhesive especially for boxes. All right, so we've got that there. I'm going to line that up with the back of our box where our seam is and squeeze that. And so it's going to be like that. It's looking good, isn't it? All right, the next thing that we need is our circles. And those came from, let me show you, we have the 1 1/4 inch punch and the 1 3/8 inch scallop punch. Those are retired and they're some of my favorites. So we'll put those together. Okay, I stamped in advance a sweet treat for you. It came from a old paper pumpkin, Christmassy one with gingerbread. I think something like that, a gingerbread theme, but there's lots of things that would fit just as well. And I think this is soft seafoam, and then of course this is Night of Navy, just trying to match the DSP there. So I will put liquid glue on the circle and attach it to the one with the scallops. Okay, and then I'm going to put liquid glue just on the top back of this because it's going to go over a little bit on here. It's going to hang over, so we don't want the glue to go too far. So there is the label. And you could put it up on dimensionals if you wanted to, but I'm afraid it might, I don't know, I think it might not do well with the Velcro strips. So now I've got to locate where I put my Velcro strips. Oh, there they are, hiding underneath the scoreboard. All right, so I was taught that it's great to put your Velcro dots together, the loopy part and the flat part, or they probably have names. And let's see which one is the lighter one. I think it's that one. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the Velcro on there. Okay, so it's attached and I'm pushing it down on that one side, and then I'm going to close up my box, line it up exactly how I would like it to be, and push again here, and it will stick. We'll lift it up, kind of help it out just a little bit with my fingers. And hang on. There we go. All right, so now you've got your Velcro here and your Velcro there. And you're just gonna, that way when you start it that way and put it down, then it's down exactly where you want to go. You don't have to worry about lining it up. So, and this will hold on the inside. Like I said, it'll hold 2 of the miniatures, Hershey miniatures, or 1, maybe 2 of the nuggets. So that is it. Isn't that cute? So, and relatively quick and easy to make, I think. So that is the treat box, the 3D triangular treat box, and I hope that you will make one yourself and see, maybe you've got some fun DSP that is in your stash that you need to use up, and try not to be a DSP hoarder like I am. But anyway, I thought that was just a really cool. And like I said, I use those. I made a bunch of these for nurses and doctors yesterday. Fun to bring a smile on their faces. And I'll be making a bunch more for some friends. So think about who you could make one for and bring a smile to their face. So thanks for joining me in the Treehouse. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Hit that subscribe button, and you can hit the bell to be notified of when a new video comes out. It's been a while since I've made a video, but hopefully most of the renovations on the studio are done. I've got family members that are moved in and doing well to different new locations. So hopefully I'll be back in the saddle and can keep bringing you creative videos. So, but we're still doing lots of stuff in the Creative Treehouse, and you can check out my blog for the measurements of today's project and look at other projects, and also subscribe to my newsletter if you'd like to know about all the happenings in the Creative Treehouse, because those are still going on and doing all kinds of new things for the new year. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time in the Treehouse. Bye-bye.